ship this week?
GM, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I am Peter from Nearweek, and we're back with another Near ship stream, looking into what projects have been shipping lately within the AI space on the Near protocol or within the Near ecosystem. Today, we have a pretty packed program with 5 great projects presenting. We're going to have a presentation from Consumerify, Near Governance, Learn Near Club, Asimov Protocol, and Public AI. And I'm super excited to dive into all of the great updates that these teams will be sharing with us today. So let's kick it off and get David from Consumerify on the stage.
What's up,
GM,
guys?
sir, how's
Hey,
it going?
Peter. It's going well.
And congratulations on the token. It's looking
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so we had our community sale kickoff a couple hours ago, and it hit the soft cap in like 2 hours. So really excited about that, and been super busy prepping for TGE in the coming weeks, and lots of different product rollouts around it.
Awesome. So on the show, David, we always kick it off with a short intro. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you, the project that you're working with, and then let's get into the details of the specific updates you want to share with us.
Yep. So I'm David Lear. I'm CPO at Consumerify. I've been building full-time in the Near ecosystem as a founder for almost 5 years now. So it's been a great journey, and been building alongside the guys at Playember, for the majority of that time. But this year, early this year, joined their team formally as we, brought to market Consumerify, which is basically the protocol in which Playember is built on, as well as a few other things that we have cooking up. So I've been helping out with product and go-to-market for the Consumerify protocol, and it's kind of all coming to a head, at least from a launch perspective now. Yeah, and Peter, I don't know if
that's awesome.
Cool.
And let's kick it off.
Yeah, so in terms of like what did I ship this week, or what have we been shipping this week, a few big things from our end. We have one of the kind of premier applications rolling out on the Consumerify protocol, apart, of course, from the Playember consumer mobile applications that have been live, have scaled to about 900K MAU. But this is a savings app we've been working on for some time, and will really express the execution engine for Consumerify, which takes kind of 2 key technologies, first of which being Near Intents, and second of which being Privy account abstraction. So you're able to sign up with your email, social, Telegram, and then fund your account directly from your bank account, credit card, crypto wallet, centralized exchange. And then you can save with some of the highest yielding blue chip savings lending protocols that exist today. And that's Rhea. So we're connecting Rhea to sort of the big blue chips like Aave, Moonwell, Morpho, and building a curated index of lending protocols where your funds are continuously being rebalanced based on the highest yields. It's fully non-custodial. That's what Privy account abstraction unlocks. So when you sign up for the first time, you accept some delegated permissions that allow for the deposit of your USDC into the various lending protocols, as well as any of the rebalancing that goes on, and then also the auto compounding as well. So that product will be rolling out in closed beta here in a couple days. But beyond that, I've just been nailing in the tokenomics, getting all of the kind of token contracts set up, state XCFi, and then also looking at the airdrop. The majority of our users are actually like EVM, Solana. So we've been really mindful of that as we prep for the airdrop. CFI is an NEP 141 token, and all of the kind of token utility smart contracts exist on Near. So there's a bit of a problem to solve there. How do we get thousands of users who likely don't have a Near wallet set up yet? How do we get them depositing into smart contracts on Near in a way that is as painless as possible? And so we've used I believe it's the NEP 518 standard, and been able to build like a fully feeless mechanism where from my OX wallet, my ETH wallet, I can have full custody over a Near account and claim my CFI airdrop when that rolls out, and deposit into the XCFi contracts, things like that. So it's been super cool to work on that. Of course, on the consumer graph side, that's sort of your personal context vault. So taking any of the data that you care about online, a bunch of different scattered data points from your like on-chain activity, social media presence, web activity, whatever you want to share, building your own like recommendation engine from that data. It's all stored in your a personal and private knowledge graph that can help basically deliver personalized execution through near intents. So I've been working on that, continuing to build out the agentic side of things. So near AI agents are actually traversing your consumer graph, looking at all of those scattered data points and using inference through near AI to turn, what are effectively a bunch of unconnected data points into strands of like digital DNA. And when that happens, your data becomes a bit more intelligent, and it can then lead to execution that is personalized for whatever your risk tolerances are, whatever your goals are. So been working on that kind of primarily on the building out the schemas, building out the agentic logic, and it's pretty straightforward, I guess, from the data that we are collecting now. So if you go to the ConsumerFi app, you're going to see the things you're familiar with, kind of connecting your X account, connecting a bunch of different on-chain wallets, whatever you want to do. All of that's like inherently structured data. So it's pretty easy to build the schema for that for your knowledge graph. But looking at sort of the next phase, like what does it mean to have a personal context vault that's plugged into private AI through Near AI? What are the big unlocks there, and how do we make sure those are available to users, to developers, to businesses, and making that private AI super personalized for whatever it is you want to do. So I've been experimenting with different data sets, whether that's like full on business logic, or been looking at, I guess I don't know how much I can share on the project here, but more so unstructured data, which has a few more processing steps involved. You're kind of using Near AI to then ingest all of the data before it's added to the consumer graph, and you're sort of turning it into more structured data that a knowledge graph can support. And we're really excited to see how all of that unfolds. But I'd say those are the main items. I know there's a lot there and maybe a bit technical. So if I can break anything down further, would love to do that.
Thank you so much, David. Like that was one hell of an update. A lot of good stuff you shared there. If you were to like nail one thing, or like say like what are you the most excited about now? Of course, the token has gone live, etc. But where do you really see the potential for ConsumerFi?
Yeah, I think the savings app that we have rolling out is going to be a big one for us, because it really adds that layer of kind of consumer-friendly interface to the Near technologies that we all know and love and love to talk about. So I think that's going to be a big unlock. It really showcases what can be done on the ConsumerFi protocol, and hopefully will inspire other people to kind of take advantage of the tools and things we've built, so that we can continue to scale the protocol and the things that are available to users.
And if you were to give any advice to people who are new to building on the Near technology, or like what are some of your main recommendations or key takeaways?
Yeah, if I was going to start building on Near protocol today, I would start looking at documents for Near intent. So I would become very familiar with the different APIs that are available for Near intents, and see how I can start, making some transactions happen, just from my local machine, and then scaling that up into more of a web app setting. But I think between the documentation that exists in the Near communities, the Aurora communities, everyone that's kind of behind the core Near intents development, there's a ton of resources there, and should be a lot of upside, especially maybe if you're interested in privacy. Look at how you can build for the Zcash community. I think there's a lot of really good opportunity there, and Near intents is the vehicle for that opportunity.
Definitely. Thank you so much for coming today, David. Hoping to see you again soon, and keep up the good energy, man. Keep on building, and excited to see where all of this leads to.
Yeah, and just quickly, if you want to get involved with ConsumerFi, you can join consumerfi.ai and build your consumer graph, gear up for the S1 airdrop that will be kind of rolling out at the time of TGE. So there's still plenty of time to do that, and I'd love to see you there.
Awesome. You heard him, folks. See you around. That was great. All right. Next up, I know we're gonna have I know for sure that we're gonna have as great of an update because it is no one else but Mr. James Waugh and Jack Lang from the House of Stake AI governance team. How are you doing, fellas?
Awesome. Happy to be here.
Yeah,
Great.
good to be back.
Awesome. So you're both going to be on the stream, right? And please just take 1 minute, present yourselves, and then talk a little bit about what the project that you're building with or building for, and then get into the product update. Sorry.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll give a brief intro and then I'll hand it off to James to do a demo. So you're all familiar with James. He's been on this call before. I work at the Near Foundation and the AI governance product lead. And James and I started working together about a month ago, combining forces on AI governance. I saw the work that he was doing in the community on these calls, and I wanted to combine our efforts. So this week we launched the alpha of the first product that we've been building together. It combines the roadmap that I published on the forum, which you can go to the forum and read it there, and some of the experimentation that James has done. Our AI governance roadmap breaks down into 3 phases: support, represent, and organize. So that is progressively increasing the responsibility that AI agents will have within governance. So the first phase is that AI agents will support humans. They'll assist with decision making. The next phase will be that agents will actually represent humans, so proxy decision making. This is when you'll start to see things like AI delegates. And the last phase is when agents will actually start to coordinate human decisions and have a little bit more autonomy. The alpha that we are demoing today is the first product, which maps to that first phase of support. It's a dashboard for AI-assisted deliberation. It connects the governance forum, all of the proposals and the discussions that are happening there, to Near AI Cloud. Helps with analysis, summarization, and we have a chat assistant as well. And the goal is to make it easier for busy Near community members to digest proposals quickly, and also to follow along with discussions, and have an easier time actually participating and understanding how they should be voting on proposals. I think that's enough context from my side. I'll hand it over to James to demo what we've shipped.
Thank you, Jack. And I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. And just to put some more background information out there before we dive in, as Jack said, we're pulling proposals from the discourse forum right now. And you can see the list of proposals here at neargov.ai. And these are coming from the proposals category on the actual governance forum. So these are all the same. And we're planning to enable analyzing on-chain proposals really soon. But for now, we're just going after the messier off-chain aspects of this whole process. And we're building on Near AI Cloud, which offers verifiably private inference from the best open source models. And it runs these models in a trusted execution environment infrastructure. So this enables the guarantees of privacy and security when it comes to execution of anything you're doing with Near AI. You can learn more about that at docs.near.ai. And this is our proposal details page, which just goes into a few of the different parts of our product. You can see the evaluation on the right, which tells you an overall score for the proposal based on the quality criteria and attention scores. The prompt underneath is flexible and evolving, so we're open to feedback on all of the above here, and we're looking forward to making this better over time and really understanding how it works and learning together. So we have these 6 criteria. You can see descriptions of each one. I won't go into too much detail there, but you can get an idea of if a proposal is ready, or how worthwhile it might be for you to dig in further based on the attention scores.
Yeah, just to add there, the goal here is not that we're recommending whether you should vote yes or no on the proposal. We're trying to support other aspects of the proposal process. So the quality criteria, for example, we anticipate that supporting the screening committee, who will be determining if a proposal is meeting like the proposal template, and the attention score will be helping busy stakeholders to understand if they don't have much time to review proposals, what are the most substantive ones with the highest impact that they should be paying the most attention to.
Yep, and we'll just give a quick demo of the summarization feature. This result was cached, which is why it's really fast. But it calls the NearAI Cloud API to complete this summarization request and respond with the breakdown of what, why, how, and some risks with an overview. You can also see the revisions, different versions of the proposal over time, and summarize those, so you can tell if there was any major changes in the course of discussion, if comments were addressed, things like that. I'll go ahead and generate that as well for good measure. And of course, you can read the post, and you can read the discussion. There's our revision history summary. And here's all the replies. Here's a longer one. We can summarize that just so we don't have to, read it. If it's not relevant for us, we can decide whether it's worth, going through the actual content. And then last but not least, we've got the discussion summary overall, which kind of gets through, the whole thread and gives a sentiment analysis, different themes, maybe some controversy, hot takes, and just kind of like where the consensus is forming, what's happening, and any loose ends that need to be tied off. And keep in mind, all of these are based on prompts that we're improving, on a regular basis. So if you are wanting to give feedback, it's not all about, bugs and the look and feel, but we also want to know if a response doesn't make sense, or if you want to know something else about the discussion, for example. And we also have this assistant here. So this has tools where you can basically do the same thing that I just did, but in a chat, and then you can ask more questions about the proposal. So you could get more detailed analysis based on what this provides, because it's only about this proposal, but you might have a lot of ways to think about it. And we can wait for that, but yeah, I don't want to wait too long, I guess, but we'll come back and see how it did. I'm really excited to share an update. This is kind of what I shipped last night, but it's the new chat, which is still a work in progress, but I wanted to demonstrate the verification feature of NearAI Cloud. So all of this, all of the things you just saw are verifiable, but it's not surfaced in the UI yet. But you can actually go into this chat and see the verification details and export the proof, so that you can come back later and prove that you did this with private AI for compliance and other reasons. And yeah, we can just say what's up, or something like that, and then you can see it's verified in real time, and you can see that a bunch of characters that don't mean much, but that's the proof that it's actually private, so you don't have to take our word for it. Next, we have this editor, which is also work in progress, but might be released soon. We're thinking about how to facilitate drafting and submitting proposals, both on the forum and on chain. But this gives you an ability to kind of work with the AI and drafting your proposal. It has a few suggested actions, one of which is writing a proposal about improving developer documentation. And you can see the output and either accept or reject changes. And you can iterate. You can say make it make the milestones more specific, and it will think for a minute and then help you out so you can get some context under the hood. It's got guidelines on how to create proposals and templates and things like that, so you're not just starting from scratch. But we can accept that and keep on moving. I think we want to highlight another development that's kind of a foreshadowing of the AI delegate product, which is going to be released in the beginning of next year. But I've shared a demo here on a previous live stream, which is like a screening agent, which is one step in the direction toward AI voting. So keep an eye out for that. And if you want to give us feedback, there's a forum post, and it has a link to a Telegram group, which is t.me/neargovai, no spaces or hash or hyphens. So t.me/neargovai, and we're going to be collaborating with anyone who is interested in this product. And it's open source, so you can fork that. And that's all I got. Thanks.
That's absolutely awesome, guys. And Frederick just texted me, "Hey Peter, I ran your proposal about UN through the quality one, right?" And he gave him feedback, and it said like, "Dude, it's only 35% quality." I'm like, man, I gotta up my governance process game. I was like, I thought it was good and stuff, but hey,
well,
that's what AI says, right? I got up my game.
Don't get it wrong. These are pretty easy to address. The quality criteria are mostly like structural. So it might be just a missing piece of the proposal. And it's definitely an opportunity for improvement, because I think it's a great proposal. Maybe it shouldn't have gotten this score.
I don't know.
We'll keep on iterating, and I appreciate you trying it out.
Yeah, it may also be that we need to fine tune the prompts a little bit. But yeah, that's why we're alpha testing now.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that my. I think there's probably some middle ground, right? Like I need to get my shit together. Because I definitely think that's like something we should do in the New York system, be part of like the UN blockchain, whatever. But I'm just happy for the feedback to get it, because I feel like this is what we need when it comes to governance. As you say, guys, there's so much information to digest, and the easier and the more streamlined process that we get around both assessing but also writing proposals, the easier it becomes for people to actually participate in governance, because it can feel heavy, right, at times.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this, but just as a parting word, if you want to try it out, you can go to the create button on the top right, and it's pretty basic right now. I showed the more involved editor, which will replace this, but you can test your proposal out right here and get feedback before publishing, so you don't have to put it on the forum before getting results. And it's all private.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to hit 100% now.
Yeah, get there. You got it.
Exactly. All right. Thank you so much for coming, guys. I'm excited to see these features as you keep shipping them. And yeah, thanks for helping out with everything governance on NEAR. We need it.
Thanks, Peter.
All right. So next up, we have Sasha from Learn Nia Club. Sasha, my friend, how are you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm doing very well. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm excited to have you back, and you're here to tell us a little bit about some private and verifiable AI for personalized learning. I think that sounds pretty sick, to be honest. So, Sasha, please kick it off. Tell a little bit about what Learning Club is, and let's get into the details.
So Learning Club is basically a community learning platform for everyone who is interested in Near Protocol and Near Protocol ecosystem. And apparently, we do use AI for learning because like this is where actually it makes perfect sense. And we employ AI for learning in a very special way. We are trying to keep it on leash, as they say, to keep it private and verifiable as much as we can. So you are as a learner, you control the models that you talk to, you control the prompts and all the settings. And today I want to show you how you can actually use a learning assistant in your very own way. Let me share my screen. And let's do this. 1 second. There you go. So let's start. Recently, I wrote a small article about how you actually can to use the AI in the most efficient way for you, right? So like it's about like what is the prompt, why it matters, and we found a great analogy. Like you should talk to your AI as people talk to genius in fairy tales, right? You should use your words very, very wisely, right, to get the results you actually want to give. So in this article, you'll find some useful information, recipes, and as usually at Learning Club, we help people learn by doing, right? So like it's already live, and you can try your own personalized learning assistant right here. Okay, so if you go to your profile, you just go and click Learn AI. And you see like this is a prompt which is generic, and the settings that are generic that are being used by default for the Learning Club website, right? But as you can see, you can actually put your own prompt in here, and you can actually play with different parameters like temperature, max tokens, and stuff for your own prompt. Let's see how it works. Let's ask now, and for now we're going to be using the generic prompt which is written by Learning Club, right? Let's ask something. Tell me about Fastneer, our friends. Okay, so you can see that the assistant goes to Learning Club knowledge base, then thinks a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Yeah, the reply looks legit to me. You can verify it, right? You can like it if you like. You can verify it. You can see that it comes from the verified model, and our learning assistant is powered by Near AI Cloud. So you can actually easily make verification yourself, And let's check what's going with the prompt, right? And you can see that the prompt that was used. Let's try it. It takes a little bit longer than expected. All right, there you go. So you can see this is actually the prompt that what used is those temperature 0.05 max tokens, blah blah blah, and you see the author, right? The author is actually i.learn club.near. Okay, now let's try our own prompt and see how it works for us. Okay, go back here and we put some prompt which is kind of supposed to help us to ask Spanish a little bit. As you know, there is a huge conference happening next week in Argentina. So like probably for people who goes there, it makes sense to learn a couple of words in Spanish. Okay, let's save this prompt. Okay, the prompt itself, but saving prompt is not enough for verification, right? Because like administrator of the website or the database administrator can easily tweak it. So let's unstamp it, and by doing this, we are getting the information. Okay, the information that we entered to be hashed and put on blockchain. And once it is stamped, you can actually use your own prompt. Okay. Did it go through? I think. Yeah. Okay, let's try. Slide them. Okay. Let's go in Spanish. Okay, nothing here. Okay. Almost there. All right. Yeah, there you go. Here's the short beginner-friendly dialogue followed by translation and key vocabulary. Hola, Luis, ¿cómo estás? And so on, so on. And the key vocabulary, hola, ¿cómo estás? Café, tiempos. So let's check, let's verify which prompt actually was used for this particular query for the user. Verified prompt. Let's go there. I hope it works. There you go. Oh, yeah. So this is a prompt that was actually used. And yeah, that's basically it for today's presentation. And yeah, looking forward to having you guys trying it by yourself. Try to find the best possible prompt that works for you. Read the guide again to better understand how actually it works for you, how to make it work better for you.
Do you have any tips on that? Any insider tips?
What's that?
Do you have any insider tips on the prompting side of things?
I like that analogy, like use UI wisely, you know, like be as much specific as you can, right? Tell him like, dear you are a Spanish teacher and teach me like 3 or like 20 words, like to handle a simple conversation in Spanish speaking country, right? So not just like let's just talk to me in Spanish, you know, like be as much specific as you can and give them and give AI like a particular role and expected outcomes from your request. So that's basically it. But the most important is not about this. The most important thing is that with Near combined with AI, we are actually giving users the power of the control. Like they actually do know which model they speak, what prompt is being used, what settings are being set, and they can easily verify it. So this is actually the beauty, right?
Awesome. And if you have any secret learning prompts, please feel free to share them.
No, there is no secret. Like the secret learn prompt is just go and try it. Just go and
exactly.
try it. Yeah. So this is how we will. Don't be afraid to fail. Just go and try it, and it's a lot of fun, especially with
I love
it's like a lot of fun.
I love the spirit, Joseph. Thank you so much for coming today. Have a good day.
Thank you, Peter. You too. Cheers.
Bye. All right. Next up, we have Arto from Asimov Protocol. And you've been having a workshop today, Arto, or was that yesterday, or is it tomorrow?
Well, it's all confused with the time zones, right? But
Yeah.
yes, had our first workshop in San Francisco yesterday evening, and gonna have the next one in a week. Basically, I'm now a traveling circus, right? So San Francisco yesterday, Oakland next week, Mountain View the week after, and so on and so on. 1 a week at least.
And no more Finland.
Well, maybe once a year.
Maybe. Okay. So you're basically you're I wouldn't say you're stuck in the US now, but you're US based now.
We'll see. I mean, this is a bit premature given visa and everything. Better not to comment on this. But
Yeah, exactly.
For now, I'm hanging around here for a while.
So you heard it, guys. Arto is in town. He's in the country. Hit him up. All right, Arto. Let's get into the details. Tell us a little bit about Asimov Protocol, and then let's get into the details.
Yeah. We had a big week. Let me share here. So the usual self-intro. I trust that as a regular guest, people might already recognize me. But in any case, I'm Arto, originally from Finland, as you heard, and my claim to fame in the Near ecosystem is that I led EVM development at Near Protocol since 2020. Spun that out as Aurora. The rest is history. After Aurora, I've been working on something called the Asimov Protocol. And in the Asimov Protocol, we are taking a essentially minority position in the AI landscape. We are working on a technology known as neurosymbolic AI. Neurosymbolic means the marriage of neural networks, so the current dominant paradigm, with the old school, you could say, symbolic AI approaches of explicit knowledge representation, so that you can actually build trustworthy systems where you can figure out, why did my Tesla take a left turn on a red light, as mine did the other week. You can audit, introspect, debug what's going on inside the AI, because you have this explicit knowledge representation instead of this tangled spaghetti that neural networks are. So this is what we're doing. And as I said here, one graph to rule them all, one graph to find them, one graph to bring them all, and in the ontology bind them. And I congratulate anybody who knows what an ontology is, given that this is as yet a forward-looking technology. So we are basically skating to where the puck is going to be instead of where it is. I have quite a lot of demos out there on my Twitter. So for anybody who's interested, you can watch, for example, the demo that we got spontaneous applause for in SF the other week at an event. And just to maybe briefly introduce this topic or motivate this topic, the unique thing about knowledge graph representation of information is that you can just sum graphs together. So if you have one graph and you have another graph and they share some entities, some nodes, then as you union them together, you have a larger, more useful graph. So this is fairly remarkable when you think about how difficult it is to combine data sources in the, let's say, mainstream paradigm. You have a JSON, you have a CSV, you have some blockchain data, you have an Excel. Good luck combining those together in any sensible automated way. But with knowledge graphs, you just plus and minus and other kinds of sort of algebraic operations just work. And I want to mention, I was very glad recently that some details have now leaked out of the famously secretive Cupertino company known as Apple. that indicate that they are also indeed working towards this direction. So this has been nice validation. So for anybody who thinks that Apple is behind on AI, well, they might still surprise you, because again, just like what I was saying, they are skating to where the puck will be instead of where it is right now. In the last week, we have launched our open source platform properly. So it's now a stable release, 25.0. You can read more about that. We still need to do all the blogging and launch posts, but it is available at asimov. Basic intro to what you can do with the platform, and then of course over on GitHub we have the Asimov-platform organization, where you can find command line interfaces, SDKs, and so on. And then of course we have about 100 modules in the works. It's a fully modular platform. You can find it under Asimov-modules. About 30 modules are currently public. Those are also listed at Asimov.directory. In the last week, we've been spinning out from our internal confidential sandbox a bunch of the multimodal modules so that people will be able to replicate the demo I've shown. So this is not all modules are yet public, face recognition and so on are not yet public, but they will be soon. And we have already in the last week the camera module out there, the image module, and some other new modules. So soon enough, the demo will be replicable by anybody, which should be quite interesting. Also to mention, other than being based on the neurosymbolic approach as actually the first neurosymbolic AI framework out there, another unique aspect of the platform is that it's fully built in Rust, and we compile everything to freestanding, statically compiled executables, which means that unlike the typical Python dependency hell that people work with every day, or the Node equivalent Node dependency hell or C++, everything is really rather simple. You have a binary, it works without any prerequisites. You can download it to your laptop or your Raspberry Pi or your robot or whatever, and it will keep on trucking without needing anything else. And even 20 years from now, it will still continue to work because it is built to those system interfaces that are stable over time. And indeed, Peter, as you said, yesterday we started to take this to the road, so to speak, as in, I think of it a little bit as a roadshow, because there were a lot of people in the Valley and SF who had indicated that they want to use the platform but needed onboarding. So we are organizing this once a week onboarding workshop, bring your laptop. And yesterday was the first instance of that. Rather curiously for me, I'd say that the most interest we're getting right now for the platform is from robotics startups, which are very hot in the Valley and SF. And so we had several robotics founders in the audience, and looks like that will be a surprising direction for the demand for the platform. We have next week, as I mentioned, we will be in Oakland at a robotics co-working space called Circuit Launch. Fantastic place. So you can join me there if you're around the Bay Area. And then after that, we'll be in the ex-Boston Dynamics warehouse in Mountain View near Google. So this is the Thanksgiving week. So we'll be organizing those. Let's see, what else do I have for you? I think that's pretty much it. So if any of this is of interest, then please follow along on Twitter and GitHub, and I'm very approachable via DM. So back to you, Peter.
Awesome. Also, I have a question. So regarding on the robotics side of things, why is that? Why are knowledge graphs like perfectly suitable for robotics?
Robotics has several needs that kind of fit what we're doing with the platform. So one is that robotics, of course, always has been based on data flow, and it's a data flow platform. In our case, the data flow is typically a knowledge graph flowing between components. So, for example, in the demo that I showed, we are taking a video frame from the camera, then we're turning that immediately into a knowledge graph, and then that travels down a data flow graph where it gets enriched by other modules. So, object classification, face detection, face recognition, speaker identification, and so on. This means that that's very suitable for robotics on the one hand. On the other hand, robotics is now getting, let's say, robotic startups right now are really going crazy over world models. So world models are all the rage over here. And of course, the neurosymbolic approach fits very well into a world model. So what we are building is a model of the world from camera input, from sound input, from sensor input. Some people do wish to have this in explicit form, so that it can be, let's say that your robot is moving around, it's building a kind of map of the room and building that it's in, and then imagine that whole model of that building is available as a knowledge graph. At that point, you can do graph queries on it, right? So there's an interesting marriage there. But of course, once it's pretty interesting because we've been building towards a sort of personal intelligence layer, a kind of middleware that sits on your computer and unites all the data silos in your life. But this robotics demand is now kind of surprising us. We already had a potential investor saying that we should pivot to robotics, but I'm a little bit resisting that at the moment.
But I'm just happy to hear that there's like growing interest and demand for what you're doing, and I think it's the right way to actually onboard people one-on-one, like these developer workshops.
It's very much the do things that don't scale right in the beginning, and handholding the people who showed up yesterday. We did discover a lot of onboarding issues that we can just improve, and without doing this, that would be a lot harder. So have to put in the work. And happy to say that it looks like at least one crypto startup and 2 robotic startups are now beginning to build on the platform. So
awesome
user base.
When can you? Looking forward to when you can share more about that. It's always great to hear that people actually using the product. So awesome! Congratulations with that, and also as always, keep up the good work. Keep being locked in. I'll see you around.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Peter.
Thank you. All right, lastly, we have Jordan, aka Starpause from Public AI, who's going to talk a little bit about their new onboarding process and something about AI TV. All right, Jordan, I love that T-shirt, by the way.
Me too. As it happens to be, I love it. Some of the best swag I ever get is always from good old Fashion Dial.
Awesome. All right. So Jordan, please just talk a little bit about. You can just present the project you're working with, and then we can get into the details.
Great, perfect. Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Always a pleasure. And for those that don't know me, I'm Jordan, aka Starpause, co-founder at Public AI, where we are basically building the human layer of AI, making sure that as the world changes and AI touches more and more industries, there is still human value there and that it gets rewarded. Lately, what that's looked like is, we have a contributor network of over 3.5 million people all over the globe, and we use super high-speed blockchains like Near to pay people out for doing tasks on the platform that gather data for our clients. And our clients are people who are training their own AI models, doing fine-tuning, things like that, where they need niche on-demand data to get their models to production quality. So that means like the efficiency of running them, the cost effectiveness, as well as the reliability. So getting hallucinations down, etc. And then as far as like what we've got going on currently, well, this is just a quick view of like what that platform looks like. The platform is live today at beta.publicai.io, so you can go check it out and see what the experience is like. This is the process of how we gather data for clients. Lately, we've been very busy with events in real life. We're a revenue-driven business, so we're all over the place meeting new clients. Last week, I was in Saudi Arabia at Biban conference, which is a huge tech conference there, meeting tons of companies that are interested in what we're doing. They, like China and US, are building their own sovereign AI models, so they're very interested in what we have. We also had Stephen down at Stanford doing a startup pitch at the hosted by PKNU down at Stanford. And we were also out at Chainlink Build, which happened in New York. So staying busy, doing our own road shows, getting our faces out there. And another big launch last week was we're live on Cookie.fund. So this is like kind of like Kaido Yaps. If you're not already on Cookie Fund, snap the QR code and join it to contribute, climb the leaderboard, and have your voice in that community sentiment around public. And then to get to the meat of what we actually shipped product-wise this week, the big shift was from Typeform to having our own on-platform user survey. So since we have so many contributors around the world, we have varying quality, and our biggest problem that we're always solving is quality of data that we're handing off to clients. So to be able to solve that, the first step is to look at the quality of the contributors and make sure that it's actually real people that are showing up. So to do that, we have an onboarding survey to get to know our contributors better. Right now, when you log onto the platform, you'll get a survey pop up to go and complete this survey. If you click away from that and don't know where to find it, just head over to your profile where you can start the survey. And it's a quick four-page survey that just asks like what language you're speaking, what dialect you speak it with, or what accent you speak it with, as well as asking about like where you are residing in the world and what city you're living in. And that's just to map like the languages to locations, make sure that it all lines up and makes sense. And then also does like some demographic background information. And the idea here is we don't want to put people through KYC, which nobody likes, but we do need demographic information about our users so that when our clients are coming and saying like, hey, we need people that speak Saudi, but we need people that speak KSA or Modern Standard Arabic versus Egyptian Arabic or something like that, we're able to drill down into the data that we have and deliver exactly that. So all of this is for better quality data, better metadata on our uploads, things like that. And finally, as the last step of the survey, we have people record a short audio sample introducing themselves. And again, all of this is just cross-referenced as kind of a, does this make sense? Is this a real person? So as you're going through this, the more effort you put into being like earnest and honest in the process, the more likely it is that you're going to pass through the system and be able to participate and earn on the platform. So give it your best shot. And after you hit submit, it'll be in review. We are reviewing these every day, so it's typically less than 24 hours. But you can always open a ticket on Discord if you seem to be stuck or have trouble with that process. So one of the great things about moving to having this like on our own platform versus Typeform was being able to do things like the audio sample and to directly integrate all of the metadata that we're getting on the users with the samples that are being collected. So this was a big unlock for us on improving data quality. And then the other big news we've got is Nimpet. She's live on AITV.gg. We launched her actually about 2 weeks ago and have been having a lot of fun with this. So instead of having us show up on Twitter Spaces every day and yapping about what's up at Public AI, Nimpet is covering everything in the decentralized AI sphere. So things happening in the Near ecosystem and also the research papers and everything else that's going on to push forward the decentralized AI movement. She's got it covered. The character has a fun backstory. A lot of people from the Near ecosystem might recognize her from when the alias was Nearchan. And the story is that, you know, she comes from a future where AI took a wrong turn and things didn't go so well. And as part of that, she time traveled back using a quantum near chain to be able to come back to the present day and warn people about the dangers of centralized AI and everything that can go wrong and champion decentralized AI. So here's what it looks like when you're actually interacting with her. You can do super chats to get your questions and prompts answered right away, and they can be unhinged or on topic. We surprisingly have a lot of people who are very interested in decentralized AI topics, get a lot of like technical questions. So it's cool to see the community coming together around this, and that we actually have sort of like, you know, people that are into the theme that we're passionate about, but we're seeing it reflected back from the community as well. And then another fun thing that we've done with this is clipping campaigns. So after a live stream, which is an hour long or so, people can clip the content and bring those clips over to TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, etc. And go check out this Rova campaign that we did. It had me laughing out loud a couple times as I was going through the submission. So people are definitely having fun clipping NIMPET up and spreading the love of decentralized AI using modern memes and communication channels. So check out the clips for sure as the highlight reels. If you're wondering how this is going, pretty well. We weren't sure when we launched it how the reception would be, but we've had over 600 unique viewers and over 1,500 prompts over the last 2 weeks. So good traction off the bat, and seeing like an upward growth chart with like the peak viewers that tune in every day. And to help out with that, she's got a weekly schedule, so you can catch her at 10 a.m/p.m. PST, kind of alternating throughout the week. We found that to be when our community was online the most, so that's why we kind of like went around those goalposts. But we'll see how things go, and if there's demand for other bonus streams. She also does bonus streams throughout the week as well, so catch her when you can. Scan the QR code to check out NIMPET on AITV.gg. And that's it for me. That was our big news. Been out there doing the road showing, have the new onboarding process. If you've contributed to previous Mother Tongue seasons or want to contribute in the future, go take care of that, get that out of the way. So when we launch Mother Tongue Season 5 later this month, you'll be all set and ready to contribute and get paid for your voice. And yeah, follow Public AI all over the place. Join the Telegrams, Discords, etc. And I'll see you in the community. Thanks for having me on.
Everyone, you heard the man. Go join on every social and spread the word, and go talk some of that English, Arabic, Thai, Mandarin, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, German, Italian, French, Russian, and Indonesian to join season 5. I absolutely love what you're doing, Jordan, and it's been inspiring since knowing each other for like past 4 years to see how where you've ended up in this space. Yeah, I think it's a great journey and a great product you guys are building. And really excited to see more about NIMPET. I'm gonna check out I see she has a YouTube playlist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dig out what she is up to and how that works. Thank you so much for coming on, Jordan.
Pleasure.
Keep doing good, and excited to hear more about public AI in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye. All right, that's it for now, folks. We've exactly hit the 1 hour mark. This was 5 teams sharing the Near ecosystem, what they've been shipping lately. And if you're building in the Near ecosystem around AI, or in general, just shipping some interesting stuff, please do hit us up. This space is all yours. We just want to shed some light on all the great founders, all the great devs, all the great projects and builders in this ecosystem. You deserve to let the world know what you're up to. All right. Catch us next week, as always, Thursdays at 8 p.m. CET. Have a good one, fellas.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Near Week.